Ryan's Patriots pulled off a great win in Week 8, and now they get to fly down to Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we're going to break down this Week 9 matchup between the New England Patriots and Tennessee Titans. But before we get into that, we do have a goal of getting to 100 new subscribers for these Week 9 prediction videos that we have going out. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win this game and why. Ryan, we were watching the game together. Great win. A little shocking, to be honest. I not like the Jets for playing that great, but they just had the lead. I felt like for a majority of the time, and then you guys knock it out at the end here. And so now you guys are going to fly to Tennessee. Can potentially get what people call a winning streak going on. I know you're unfamiliar with that over these past couple of seasons, But I want to throw it over to you, though. What do you think of the Patriots' performance today, and what do you think they have to do to go in to capitalize on a weak Tennessee Titans team?
Yeah, I mean, first off, for starters, it was a good win. They needed it after this past week. Gerard Mayo came out after last week's game, called everybody soft. I think it was a good response by the defense. They played with great effort. Still, you can kind of see like the lack of talent on that, like just both sides of the ball for the Patriots. But they came out, they looked good. I felt like they had a chance to win this one. With Drake May going down, I kind of thought that they would fold, but still, they kept that fight for the full 60 minutes of the game. Were able to sneak it out there at the very end, and it was a good all-around team win. So I think just kind of like building on that, coming in, this Tennessee Titans team offensively is not very good. I think this is a really good opportunity for this Patriots defense to come in and kind of continue to build upon that like old school bring your lunch pail mentality of like, I'm just going to be bigger, stronger, and try harder than you. And like, there's nothing you can do about it. Mentality on that defensive side of the ball, especially when it comes to stopping the run. Because if you can make this offense one-dimensional, I think that's really going to help. And I like your matchups with the wide receivers on your corners. The cornerback room is probably one of the strengths of this defense or of this team as a whole. And I think that's going to be a really big thing for them as well. I don't think Drake May will play. Just with the way concussion protocol is set up, like I think his first opportunity to clear protocol will be on Friday. And only one player has gotten a concussion and then come back in the next week to play so far this year. And so I just think it's more than likely that he will be out for this one, and Jacoby Brissett will be getting the start. But with that being said, I think Jacoby Brissett can come in if this wide receiver room could do a good job of just one, catching the football, because they had like I think 4 or 5 drops today.
Yeah.
And two, of just like not making mistakes or not committing turnovers. I think the Patriots would be able to win the field position game and potentially be able to get another win here against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, that was going to be the point that I brought up today. Is like, man, there were so many drop passes. It was ridiculous. But you guys fought hard, and especially too against a Jets team that on paper should have a lot more skilled position player talent, though. But I think you guys were able to keep Rodgers under duress, get some decent pressure there. Gonzalez played a great game as well. So you guys are going to need to step that up, though, too, and have a good defensive performance, though, because the Titans' defense statistically is one of the best in the league overall. First in overall in yards allowed, first overall in passing yards allowed, and then 12th in rushing yards allowed. And I think that's just going to be the most interesting. Is because if I look at your guys' offense, there's one thing you guys are not ranked last in statistically. It is going to be the rushing offense, which you guys are 23rd in rushing yards allowed. So, but everything else, which in some of that now is if Jacoby Brissett's the quarterback, then it's consistent. You guys are probably the worst offense in the league. But if Drake May is the one that can play, I think that's definitely going to have a totally different impact into how this offense can go and perform. Because even too, as we saw with Drake May, his explosiveness, his arm talent overall, and I think he brings a little more life to this offense. I know Jacoby Brissett's the one that won the game, but throughout a whole 60 minutes, so I think he just brings a little more life to this team here. And on the flip side, though, too, Mason Rudolph has been the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans the past couple of weeks. So I have to see if Will Levis comes back in That being said, though, I think their game plan is going to be a heavy dose of Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, if he's healthy, and try and run the ball a lot, because I think if there's an area where the Titans might have an advantage over you guys, it is, I think, going to be the trenches on both sides of the ball. And so I think it's going to be a lot of clock management on their part, especially too after they traded DeAndre Hopkins. They still got Calvin Ridley and Nick Westbrook-Akine, which are fine receivers. It's more the quarterback play that concerns me with throwing the ball overall. I think it's going to be a heavy dose of running there. And I think what's going to kind of remind me of this game here is going to be that Tennessee Titans Miami Dolphins game. It's something similar to, I guess, the Miami Dolphins game and the New England game. I think Tennessee's going to try and play the way that they played against Miami. And I think it's going to end up being something similar to your guys' game against Miami, where you guys just can't seem to score. You guys are probably going to be look like the better team, but just like through your guys' own mistakes. I just wonder if you guys are going to be able to keep it up for 60 minutes. While the Titans game plan, I think it's going to be a heavy dose of, as I've mentioned already, Tony Pollard running the ball, clock control. And if they get up a touchdown, how are you guys going to go and score against the Tennessee Titans defense, who still statistically they're not giving up that many yards. It also, there's not going to be too many opportunities. Now, some of that does change if Drake May plays, so we'll have to kind of monitor his overall concussion status, which, and you're right, Friday is the time when we're going to know. But did I hear you say only one guy this whole season has cleared it? Is that throughout the NFL or just for the Patriots?
No, throughout the NFL, only one guy has cleared concussion protocol and played in the next week.
Is that Marvin Harrison Jr.? Because
it might have been.
Okay, I feel like more. I don't know how accurate that is. I feel like more guys have done that, but I could be wrong. Where guys have got concussions, and then because I know Marvin Harrison Jr. did it last week. I'm pretty sure.
Potentially more, but okay. It is. There are very few people who get a concussion in 1 week and then play in the next week.
I thought it was going to be more along the lines of, do the Patriots want to, if Drake May doesn't practice all week, but he gets cleared, though, do you want to risk throwing him out there to potentially get hurt again when it's not like you guys are really playing for anything already? Like, you already know he's going to be the guy.
That's a potential competition. I'm betting he just does not play this week. That's my
probably so. Okay,
that's and so I just, even with that, like, to kind of get into predictions here, I'm going to go with New England. This Titans team, I understand that they're first in a lot of categories defensively, or well ranked in a lot of categories defensively. But if you look, and granted, these are some of the better offenses in the league. They gave up 30 to Green Bay, they gave up 34 to Buffalo, and they gave up 52 to Detroit. They're not a top defense in points allowed. And I'm pretty confident in saying that based off of those three numbers that I just said. And so, to me, that's a big sign that they're consistently losing the field position battle. They're consistently not managing the clock well. And like, this team has only scored 17, 14. They put up 31 against Miami. But that Miami team is not good. And then 17, 10, 14. So basically, when they play offenses that don't give them opportunities to, like, easy opportunities to put points on the board, this offense really, really struggles. And I think New England can do that. And I think largely you look, I mean, I guess they just beat up this Miami Dolphins team over 4 quarters, because it looks like 1, 2, 3.
Well, that was the game that Will Levis actually got hurt and Mason Rudolph came in.
5.
And that was Tyler Huntley's first game.
So they kicked 5 field goals in that game and had 2 rushing touchdowns and a safety. And the rushing touchdowns were 4 plays, 10 yards. Or no, sorry. What is that? Yeah, 4 plays, 10 yards. And then they had 5 plays, 70 yards. They had one good drive, one good scoring drive against the Dolphins for like in that game. And so basically, I just think if New England can come in, they haven't really made a lot of mistakes on offense besides Drake May's first start this year. They haven't been good on offense, but they haven't had a lot of turnovers in that aspect. So if they can just not really commit any turnovers, I like their chances in this matchup.
Yeah. So I'll disagree with you here. One is I do think Tennessee's defensive front is going to cause you guys a lot of fits. I can see this being something similar to your guys' performance, like with Cincinnati, whereas like a solid defensive front here. I know that was week one. I think it's going to make it tough for you guys to kind of move the ball. Now that being said, I think Ramondre Stevenson had like 170 yards in that game. And then I think on the flip side though too, I think it's going to be a heavy dose of running with Tennessee here, and that's where I think that's going to cause you guys to have a little bit of fits because I think you guys are weak in that category. You guys are going to be sound overall. It's not going to be a pretty game. I think just Tennessee being at home, and then if Jacoby Brissett's the quarterback, is definitely going to limit the offensive capabilities just in general. I do believe that the Titans are going to pull this one out here. And also just another game that we can disagree on. Help you catch back up on our season-long competition.
Yeah, this defense, I think, is good. And I'm not trying to undersell this defense's abilities here. I just think this offense puts them in some bad spots sometimes. And even if Jacoby Brissett does come in and play and is the starter, I still think that there's opportunities for them to have explosive plays. And also in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and granted, Drake May has been in, this pass protection has been a lot better. They still can't really run the ball though, just with all the injuries that they've had up front. But this pass protection has been a lot better. So I think Jacoby Brissett will have some more time to get the ball out. So all in all, I think it's going to be a close matchup, but probably for all of the wrong reasons. We disagree on this one. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the New England Patriots? Will it be the Tennessee Titans? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.